Am I the asshole for changing my wife's book room into the kids' room? I, 35 male, have been married to me wife, 32 female, Ella, for 10 years. We have 2 kids, 4 male and 7 female. About 5 years ago our house was finally built. Ella was the one who actually designed our house. We have a loft area above our living room that Ella said was going to be a kids area. Out of sight out of mind, she said, for the kids' toys. Ella also suffers from depression and a lot of the house projects she hoped would be done by now aren't. Personally, I think she's too hard on herself and I do help as much as I can, but I also work 60-70 hours a week. Ella has been using the loft area as a reading area. Honestly, I'm not too sure how much she uses it. I know she read a bit, but mostly when I see her read it's in bed. Ella has been hard on herself lately, because the kids' toys are scattered everywhere, so I decided while she was out to have the kids take everything up into the loft area and put all her stuff into her gaming room. We both have our own separate gaming rooms. The kids love this area and in the time they've been playing up there I have seen no toys. Ella came home and started crying, saying that was her safe heaven area away from everyone and has been really short with me. She claims that she goes up there every day and now she can't just take it away from the kids. I told her she can make her gaming room into a reading room, but she states the kids go in there and it's not the same. I told her she was overreacting and this is exactly what she wanted this area for, so am I the asshole? Too long did not read. Wife designed house for the kids to have an area in loft, then got made when I made the area a loft area. Edit. I can't believe I have to say this, but obviously my wife is not neglecting our children by giving herself time to do her activities. As for our 4-year-old, our neighbor watches him about 2-5 hours a day we pay them, so my wife can bake for her business and just do whatever she wants. Final edit. I hear you all. I should have 100% communicated with her. I also found out she hasn't used her gaming room in months, so I took away her favorite spot of the house. So we will be moving the kids' stuff into her old gaming room and I will be making a shelf so she can organize all her books up there. Info. Does your wife work and is your youngest in school? What's the childcare split like? Also, did you discuss moving your wife's stuff before you did it? Edit. Based off OP's reply, I'm going to go with you or the asshole. Sounds like OP's wife works, handles organizing the household and is expected to do the majority of the DIY as she designed the house. This is on top of suffering from depression. It also doesn't appear that OP discussed moving his wife's things into her gaming room before doing it. This sounds like straw that broke the camel's back, especially as OP works 60-70 hours a week, so wouldn't be home to know how much she uses the room. OP, please communicate with your wife. It sounds like she needs help for her depression as well as the mental load she takes on for the family. You each have a gaming room? When my kids were young, I barely had time to shave my legs, let alone game and read. Why can't she close the door to her game room and tell the kids not to go in? There is no reason for her to need a game space and loft, and the kids have no dedicated space at all. Ask if she would rather her game room be the loft and move her stuff all there and make the game room the kids' room. I hope she is being treated for her depression. Sounds like you had good intentions, but a gentle you are the asshole. You are out of the house up to 70 hours a week, so you don't know how everyone spends their time in the house while you're gone. She had it set up as her space. Regardless of how much she got to use it, I feel you should have respected that and had a conversation with her about it first. You are the asshole. I realize your heart was in the right place, but you didn't even talk to her about it. Didn't run it by her, didn't ask if this is something that would work for her. You say you didn't see her reading there, but she claims she used it every day. I'm an overstimulated mom and I have no safe haven. No reading room, no gaming room, hell, even my bedroom is pretty overrun. Being able to take space away, especially if you suffer mental health difficulties, is so important. Maybe she would have agreed. Maybe you two could have found a different solution. But by not having a conversation you took away her agency in an area she cherished. YTA. Your wife is overwhelmed and you thought, let's not ask what she needs done but instead move all of my wife's stuff without even talking to her. Why not have your kids put their stuff in their bedrooms? And anytime you tell someone they are overreacting, it has never made anyone magically calm and is honestly infuriating. Am I the asshole roommate is mad at me for making sound in the night? Am I the asshole I work evening shift and go home at 12 a.m.? I have a mechanical keyboard and I game and talk to friends quietly during the night. My roommate lives in a separate room in front of mine. She is a very light sleeper and she says that I make too much noise in the night. She basically doesn't want me to use my keyboard even though I bought O-rings for it. It's an accessory to decrease its sound, and I put a blanket on the wall facing her room. She also doesn't want me to talk at all during the night. I ended up telling her that it's reasonable to want me to be quiet at night, but I'm not gonna be silent. We are both paying rent and we both have rights. She said I'm not being quiet. I told her that at this point, it's not my problem and she got very upset. I don't know what she is planning to do now. Am I the asshole? You are the asshole. Noise around 1 a.m. most nights would be a problem for most people. Imagine if she was being loud when you had to sleep for your job. A mechanical keyboard after midnight? You are the asshole. There is no issue with playing your game late at night with headphones in, but using a loud keyboard is unfair. I am a massive night owl gamer like you. You are the asshole. Fortunately no one cares where I live, my room kinda away from everyone. But if anyone did complain I'd obviously do something about it, as I'm not an asshole man shrugging medium skin tone. You are the asshole. Mechanical keyboards are unnecessarily loud. Get a cheap one that's a fuckton quieter. You also aren't likely to be talking as quietly as you think. I lived with someone like you for years. The only time I could sleep was immediately after I got home from work at 4 p.m. My sleep schedule was permanently fucked. It impacted all aspects of my life. Be the decent person. It's truly not that hard. Edit. Someone on his other post found out what keyboard it is. Video, here. Mechanical keyboard? Really? That's annoying even when not trying to sleep. You are the asshole. I can tell you're the asshole because of the way you're responding to comments. You didn't come for advice, you came for validation, which is a clear sign that you are the asshole and unwilling to be considerate of your roommate or take on suggestions and feedback. Am I the asshole for yelling at my aunt after she let my parents see my kids? I'm 26 bi, and when I was 15 I was dating one of my soccer teammates who was an abusive boss who outed me to my homophobic parents after I worked up the nerve to leave him. They subsequently kicked me out and I survived in the streets for almost 2 years until my aunt found out about me when she came home from tour and took me in. She helped me get back in school and graduate and then to get in college. I met my wife there and we have twin boys, 4M. My dad found out he was dying of cancer. He and my mom having been trying to get back in touch with me to reconcile and meet their grandkids. I've rejected them so far even though my aunt urges me to try to reconnect. I told her no and I didn't even want them near my boys. Me and my wife went out for our anniversary Saturday and my aunt was watching the kids. My wife wasn't feeling well and we decided to call it an early night and I forgot to call my aunt before we got there. I pull up and I notice my parents' car. Confused we get out and go in and there's my parents playing with my sons in the living room. To say I was furious is an understatement. I immediately asked what the hell is going on. My wife tried to calm me down to no avail. She takes the boys to the car. My parents start talking about how they just wanted to meet them and I yell at them to get out. My aunt says I'm not being fair to them. That they've tried to apologize for what happened. I yell at her that it wasn't her place to let them and how it hurt seeing them. I yell at her about how our family basically excommunicated her when she came out. She starts crying explaining that they just showed up at her house. She starts saying she wished she made up with her brother, my dad, and my grandparents years ago if she had the chance and I'm being selfish knowing my dad is dying. I didn't know what to say after that and just left. My wife says I was being unfair to my aunt if they did just show up and that maybe my aunt's right. She also thinks I shouldn't have yelled at her like that after all she did for me. Am I the asshole here? Your aunt should not have let your parents in to meet your children even if they showed up unannounced. Just because someone is knocking doesn't mean they get entry. She could have told them that yes she is watching your children but it is not for her to be making unilateral decisions. And just because she wishes she had made up with someone is no reason for her to foist that upon you. That decision is yours and yours alone. Not the asshole and I am sorry this happened to you. It had to be very unsettling. Hugs. Not the asshole. No way they just happened to show up on the very night your aunt is watching them for you and even if they did she should have said they couldn't come in without clearing it with you first. Not the asshole. Your aunt is lying. She knew. That said, she is probably understandably struggling with the thought of her brother dying. So, if I were you, I'd allow limited communication with her, but no alone time with the kids and she is not allowed to harass you about your parents. As to them, trying to apologize, who cares? Does their apology travel back in time and undo what they did? Only children think saying, sorry, is enough for every wrong done. Not the asshole. So let me get this straight. Your parents just happened to show up at your aunt's house on the one night she was babysitting your children? Yeah, not buying. I'd be furious. Not the asshole. Your aunt can do whatever she wants regarding the people she chooses to forgive and reconnect with, but she should respect the boundaries you have set for yourself and especially your kids. Not the asshole. Your aunt knows how you feel about your parents and them meeting your kids. Letting them in was a violation of your trust and wishes. Am I the asshole for making my wife delete a photo of us? My wife posted a photo of us recently and I absolutely hated the way I looked. It was 2 photos. I said the one photo was okay to post but the other was terrible. I recently had a very bad haircut. She posted it anyway and I was very upset. I told her to delete it. She said she won't because people already saw it, and she asked at the time if these photos were okay when she took the photos. I said I didn't get a good look at them at the time. She deleted it and started crying. She got so mad at me and wouldn't talk to me for hours after I made her delete it. She said most guys wouldn't care and would just let their wife be happy. You need to post the photo so we can judge it properly. Not the asshole. I said the one photo was okay to post but the other was terrible. So she should post the one you consented to being posted as opposed to posting both when you weren't happy. She should have just deleted the other one when you asked. How would she feel if the situation was reversed and you posted a photo of her, wouldn't take it down when she asked you to? She deleted it and started crying. She said most guys wouldn't care and would just let their wife be happy. Well, you did care. And it's totally okay not to want an image of yourself online you wouldn't be comfortable with. Why should she be happy if you aren't? She needs to get over herself. Edited to make better sense. My husband would ask me to delete a pic he didn't like, and I wouldn't care. She's taking it a little too personally. Why is what other people on the internet more important? How old is she? I mean, seriously, to cry at being asked to take down a specific photo. Not the asshole. Your wife sounds really immature. Imagine if a lady posted this saying her husband posted a pic she did not want to be posted. From the last line, what your wife means is, you need to be a doormat and let me do what I want. Not the asshole.